every time strangers look at me on the street, it's like I think back to myself. I'm like, what are they thinking? So I'm just running back all the thoughts that I used to face as a child. I wanted to inspire kids around the world. I wanted to show children that, like, despite all the bullying, the criticism, you can still make something of yourself.
Welcome back to Inspire Change with Jordan Mulligan. Today's video is sponsored by Huel, and they've just sent me the new Black Edition personalized box, which I'm super excited about. And it says to Jordan, ready for the ultimate meal in a bottle. Get excited to try our most anticipated product yet, introducing the new Huel Black Edition ready to drink. I'm going to dive into this later on in the video, but thank you so much to Huel for sending this through. I think this is going to be an absolute game changer. But before that, let's dive into it. So this thing, I mean, then you go into the industry and you start getting, lots of gigs, lots of jobs, people start booking you, you do extremely well. Years prior it was a different picture. Like this, it was something that you really struggled with. You've spoken on camera briefly about being bullied, and you didn't believe these people that you do well at modeling, so you've turned this sort of thing that people perceive as negative, or I don't know if you perceived it as negative yourself, into this huge positive, like this really, really beautiful attribute. What was the experience like prior? Like what was, growing up in and around America? You've mentioned bullying a few times.
Yeah, when I first came from Haiti and I came to the States, I was in the cafeteria and I would sit next to kids and they would they didn't want to sit next to me. And me at the time, I didn't speak no English, and the kids would say things like, I knew, because I could tell by body language and their faces that they would say things to their peers. And I hear the words, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. But these kids were legit making fun of me. I just didn't understand what they were saying. And they didn't want to sit next to me. They made me feel very uncomfortable. Then I started feeling different. I started feeling like, wow, maybe I'm not as good as everybody else. Why am I feeling like this? And because of the kids were making me feel like that. They made me feel like I was different, something was wrong, that I took it personally. I mean, I was a kid, I took it personally, and I was like, because you as a kid, you want to be part of the circle. You want to feel like you belong. You want to feel like you can join the crowd without an issue. So I couldn't get along with these kids for whatever reason. And it made me feel very self-conscious. Kids would call me names and, you look like doodle through a screen door, the name calling, etc., and it made me feel very, very self-conscious till this day.
It's still something you battle with now.
Yeah, it's like every time strangers look at me on the street, it's like I think back to myself. I'm like, what are they thinking? So I'm just running back all the thoughts that I used to face as a child. Like the things that the kids used to say to me. If people look at me and they start smiling, laughing at me, it triggers something in me. It makes me go back. It puts me back. It always puts me back in the same place where it all started, which is junior high school here in the States, in high school.
What was the lowest moment with the bullying? Do you remember a specific moment at all?
I remember being in high school and I just wanted to go home. I was in school. I wanted to go home. The kids were making fun of me. I didn't want to be in school. I went to the office. I told the professor, I went to the office and I was like, I think I want to go home. I don't feel well. And And they started asking me questions like, what happened? Why, what? And I was like, I just don't feel well. Like, I just don't feel like myself. And I want to go home and, and give it a try again the next day. And then they end up calling my parents, and my parents came and got me. And I still remember this day vividly.
Wow. I mean, this is the thing. It's one of the reasons I wanted to have a conversation with you. I'd seen some of the content that you'd put out around bullying, and you mentioned it. There's obviously the clip that did go viral, and there was a huge response to it. But I don't think people understand the depth of being bullied. The feeling of being bullied, especially as a kid, and the impact it has later on in life as well. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to reach out to you and have a conversation with you, because from the outside now, it's like people look at you and probably go, wow, really successful, he's killing his modeling career. But the internal struggle still left scars, by the sounds of it, from when you were just a kid, innocent, had done nothing wrong and was being bullied. For people in that situation now, what's the sort of, how did you persevere? How did you keep going? Was it all by happen chance, or did you, was there some kind of thought that you were using to get through those moments or to get here today?
Yes, I always felt like this journey of that I find myself in called modeling, I always feel like I had a purpose, and the purpose that is have nothing to do with me, but the purpose is straight up bigger than me. I wanted to inspire kids around the world. I wanted to show children that, like, despite of all the circumstances, the coming from Haiti, being an immigrant here in the States, had to go through the ups and the downs, and you can still make something of yourself. Despite all the bullying, the criticism, you can still make something of yourself. And that's what fuels me every single day. That there are kids out there who look up to me because I am a great example for what a person with all those experiences can be like.
As always, today's video is sponsored by Huel, and today they've sent me their brand new Black Edition ready to drinks. Black Edition Huel is a higher protein content version of their drinks, and they're absolutely amazing. I drink the powdered Black Edition all the time, and I also drink their ready to drinks. So the fact they've combined these two into one is absolutely unbelievable. It has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals. And if I know Huel, it's going to taste great. That's delicious. I'm going to do two. Screw it. Neve's jealous right now behind the camera. Mmm. Whoa. That tastes like a chocolate brownie. That's incredible. 35 grams of protein, all 26 essential vitamins and minerals, 7 grams of dietary fiber, slow release carbs, omega-3 and 6. Honestly, this stuff is incredible, but the reason that Huel Black Edition Ready to Drink is so good, if you're training, if you're busy, if you're on the go, this has everything that the standard Huel has, but more protein. It has a higher protein content. And for me, when I'm trying to build muscle out here, especially as a plant-based athlete, this stuff is my go-to. And I want to say, this is by far the best tasting Huel. I'm not kidding. This is the best one. Thank you to Huel. If you want to find out more, go to the link in the description. Make these a part of your life. Honestly, they're incredible. Let's dive back into the video. The thing that I like about your story is, we just said before this, that you went to school to become a dermatologist. Is that right?
Yes.
So, and that was, purely based on the fact that you wanted to try and help with, people who might be experiencing the same situation you're experiencing. Like, did that come naturally? Did someone say something to you, or was it just like a feeling that you wanted to do something to help?
It was definitely a feeling. I as a child grew up in this society, and I felt very ostracized. I grew up with this skin pigmentation that, like, I didn't ask for it. And I just wanted to learn more about the condition, and I also wanted to give back. And you know, to fulfill those feelings by providing something back to society and helping people and kids understand what and who I was. Your uniqueness is what makes you different, and you should never shy away from that. I was very unhappy in my young years. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in with the kids. You know, like, why don't I look like everybody else?
What was the first experience like when you did see yourself, you know, on one of these billboards printed on the side of a building?
I started crying. Despite all the bullying, the criticism, you can still make something of yourself. I am actually that kid that people used to make fun of. And now I'm here on this billboard being celebrated. That's beautiful.